Hello guys, welcome back to my channel Ceefashion Academy. In this particular tutorial, I'm going to teach us how to sew a cargo short skirt. Guys, I'm going to teach us in details how to sew a cargo short skirt. But guys, because this video is too long, so I'll be cutting it. So when you finish watching this one, you look out for the part 2. On that particular one is going to teach you other parts of it, while this particular one also covers a lot on the cargo skirt. So thanks and may God bless you. Please make sure you don't skip. Watch to the end, like and subscribe.
So guys, the next step we are going to be doing now, we are going to be trimming it out. As you can see, we are done placing it like this. So let's trim it out, guys. Okay guys, you can see we are done cutting it out. Okay, so next thing we are going to be cutting out now is we are going to be cutting out the pieces for the cargo. Do you understand? We are going to be cutting out the band. Yes, so let's do that, guys. So first of all, let's cut out the band, the pieces for the band. Let's cut it out. So the person's waist is 29. Okay, so like I said, there's something I want you guys to know. Since the waist is 29, I'm going to be adding 15 inches to my own. Yes, so 29 plus 15 inches is going to be how many? 44. Ba? Okay, so let me mark out 44. Okay, so sorry, so see 44, are you seeing it? Okay, so talking about the thickness of our band, talking about the thickness of our band, the normal thickness of a band is 2 inches. Do you understand? It can also be 1.5. Now for a male trouser, the thickness of a band is 1.5 officially. It can also go to 2 inches, but I'm telling you official is 1.5. Do you understand? So let's say we are using 2 inches. When you open it, it's supposed to be how many? 4. Ba? Okay, when you add half inch on both sides, it's supposed to be how many? 5. Do you understand? That half inch is more like for folding and for red. So we are going to be, as we are not folding into 2. Are you seeing it? So I'm marking it out expanded. So I'm going to marking out how many? 5 inches. Please just know that. So guys, when you are done, next thing you have to do is to take your scissors and then cut it out, guys. Please, I want to let you know something. When you are working on some materials, because some of this work, like when you're working on some materials, you guys know that we use our feasible interfacing on these things. But okay, then I want to tell you that it's not every work that you use, every material you use a feasible interfacing on. Let's say for example for this one now, if I don't want to use any feasible interfacing, it's okay.
So the next thing you need to do is to just, as we have cut it out, so make sure you fold it out, because next one we are going to be cutting out is the cargo pocket. Do you understand? We are going to be cutting out the cargo pocket for both the left and the right. So next thing you need to do is to fold your material. Fold your material according to the width of the cargo pocket. The width of the cargo pocket, standard width is 7 inches. Then you have to fold 3.5. But because of the fact that we are going to be putting a box pleating in front of the cargo pocket, 3.5 plus extra 2 inches for the pleating is going to be 5.5. So make sure you mark out 5.5. as you can see, guys, make sure you mark out 5.5. remember the original width is 3.5 and we have 2 inches which we are going to sew out in order to form the pleated design that is always in front of the cargo pocket. Do you guys understand? Making it 5.5. Then talking about the length of a cargo pocket is usually 7 inches. So when you add extra 3 inches for your hemming, you now have 10 inches. As you can see, that is what we are marking out right now. Are you seeing it? I've marked out 10 inches. So this is actually for both the left and the right side of the cargo pocket, guys. Okay, so guys, please, I really want you guys to make sure you watch this video to the end. Make sure you watch it to the end, because if you skip, it's going to really affect you. So guys, take your scissors and cut it out. Okay, make sure you take your scissors and cut it out. As you can see, we have cut it out. So next thing you need to do is to notch the center part. Yes, make sure you notch the center part, because it's going to be very useful for us when we are going to be sewing out the 2 inches for the front pleating. Yes, make sure you notch out the 2 inches. So if you haven't subscribed to our channel, make sure you subscribe, because in this particular channel we do things, we make your tutorial so easy for you to understand. Yes, we do that. And if you've not bought our book, please make sure you ask for our book in the comment section. Okay guys, so the next thing we are going to be doing, as you can see on your screen, we are going to be cutting out dress stripe. that you can see by the side of the cargo pocket. So to cut out that stripe is very, very easy. All you have to do is to fold according to the width of 3 inches. As you can see, yes, fold according to the width. Make sure you mark out the width 3 inches. Yes, this particular 3 inches, we are still going to be folding it out in order to produce this particular cargo pocket. Do you understand? But for now, make sure you fold out 3 inches. As you can see here, you notice that I folded my material into 2, so that means I'm cutting for both the left and the right side. Then for those that want to ask why what would be the length of the stripe that we are cutting, so I'm going to be showing us how to get the length of the stripe that we are actually cutting. So take your rule and connect, guys. Take your rule and connect. Then after that, I will show you guys how to get the length. So in order for you to get the length, look at it. Let's say this is the cargo pocket, and let's say we have folded out our 3 inches that we needed to fold out. So take your tape and measure around like this. Are you seeing it? Okay, so whatever you get, are you seeing it? Whatever you get, add extra allowance to it. So let's say in a situation whereby I got 14, so that means it's supposed to be 28 inches. All you have to do is to cut out something like 30 inches. Do you understand? Or put extra allowance to it. Remember I told you guys that it's better for you to have extra allowance than not having at all, or than joining. Do you understand? So when you are done marking it, next thing you need to do is to take your rule it down as we have done, then take your scissors and they cut it out, guys. This is what we actually need to do, as you can see. So make sure you also cut it out again, because this particular one is showing that we have the left and the right side. Do you guys understand? Okay, so when we are done doing this, you guys are going to see the next step. As you guys have noticed, this is just the preparatory part. So this is what we are going to be doing to this. As you can see, we are going to be folding one part of it like this, and we use our hemming gum to hold this tray. This is what we are going to do to both of them in order to prepare it, getting it ready for the cargo pocket, guys. Okay, guys, next is the belt holder. So in order to cut the belt holder, you just need to mark out 1.5 or 2 inches, as you can see. Yes, that is it. So let's say the belt holder that we are going to have is actually 4 on, no, it's actually 6. All we have to do is 4 is the length of the belt holder. All we have to do is 4 times 6 is actually going to be giving us 24. So that means what we are going to be cutting out now is going to be 24 inches. But remember what I used to tell us, you can add extra and make it like 30 inches. Do you guys understand? So this is dependent on how many belt holder you're going to have on the skate. Okay, so the next thing we are going to be cutting out now is the pocket itself. That is the pocket, the one that is going to be inside. If you notice, we are using another material to do this. So this is because we are already combining material. So the standard width of a pocket is 7 inches. So when you divide it into 2, as we have folded our material into 2, it's going to be 3.5. So all we are going to be doing now is we are going to be marking out 3.5. So take your rule and they mark out a straight base so as to help us when we are cutting it out, guys. So the standard length of a inner pocket is 14 inches, but because we are working on a short scale, we don't want it to start coming out from under, so we have to use something like 12 inches or 13 inches. So make sure you mark it out into 2 so as for you to prepare for both the left and the right side. Remember I told us the width of the pocket is 3.5. that means when you expand it, it's actually going to be 7 inches. So when you are done, next thing you need to do is to cut it out, guys. Yeah, you have to separate it in order to get for both the left and the right. So finally, there's what we want to do now. We want to get the shape of the pocket. Yes, this is actually getting the shape of the side waist pocket. Okay, so in order to do that, first of all, we need to get the opening of a normal pocket. Is this particular pocket we are actually making is 5 inches. So make sure you go down and mark extra 1 inch, making it 6 inches. Please remember what I said, mark extra 1 inch and make sure you get the curve exactly the way I'm getting it on the screen right now. Are you saying it? So some of us will not understand what this is going to do for us, but I'm going to be showing you guys the work of this particular shape as we are going to be sewing this particular cargo skate, guys. So this is it. So next, make sure you notch as you can see on the screen. Okay, guys, so as we are done overlocking them, as you can see, we are done overlocking our materials. So next thing I want you to do now, look, there are different ways to fix a side pocket, but I'm going to be showing you this method. Now look at it. Open up the right side. Are you seeing it? Now I want you to know that this thing should be like this. Are you seeing it? This is the center part. Okay, open up the right side. Now look, guys, take this particular one. Now let me show you something. Normally it's supposed to be like this. Are you seeing it? here, the right side of this particular one is one that's supposed to be showing along here. Okay, so now what it means is that, now look at it. Look at it. Are you seeing it? Take the right side versus the right side and place it. As you are placing it, I want to show you something very important. Don't place it. See, there is a curve here because it's a skate. Don't place it like this. Are you seeing it? Place it exactly like this. Now, how are you going to gauge the placement? Is through the hip, around the hip side. Here must be equal. Are you seeing it? Okay. So what that means is that, now look, are you seeing the extra coming out? Yes, it doesn't really matter. Make sure that here is equal and make sure that it is equal at the upper part. Are you seeing it? Then use your pin and then hold it. Please, whatever you do on the right side is the same thing you're going to do on the left side, vice versa. Please just know that. Vice versa. Okay, so now after we are done doing it, next thing you need to do is to mark out your pocket width. Okay. So now, talking about your pocket width, please don't be confused with this, because actually the original waist stopped here, started here. Are you seeing it? Is here. This one is just extra. It's because I say you should place it in a way that it will be equal on all sides. So now, like I said, guys, I want to use 4 inches. From here to here is how many? 4. Okay. Then the depth, I said we are going to be using how many? 4 to 5. But okay, I'm using 5 maximum. That's what I said that time. Okay, so now we have gotten it. All we have to do is to use our rule. Now look at it. All we have to do is to use our rule this way. Now rule a straight line like this. Are you seeing it? Now rule another straight line. So when you rule a straight line, what you have to do, just the same way you do armhole, neck, and other things. Now look at it. Are you guys seeing it? You guys already know the meaning of this. Yeah? See it here now, 1 inch or 1.5 inches here slanted. Are you seeing it? Now for the sake of this tutorial, I'm using 1.5. Are you seeing it? Okay. So when you are done doing this, we are supposed to first of all go and sew on this particular line. Are you seeing it? We are supposed to, in fact, let me sew on it now. I'm coming back right now. Do you understand? Let me sew on this part. See it here now, on this line. Then I'm coming back to show us what next to do. Guys, look at it. I've done the stitching. Are you seeing it? Please remember, do exactly the same thing on the other side. In fact, if I'm you, I would advise you to don't do it separate. Be placing them at the same time, marking them at the same time. Do you understand? Now, because I'm going to be doing the next one, I'm going to just be very careful on what I use. Are you seeing it? Okay. So now, next thing you need to do is to now look at it. Use your scissors and cut off, remaining only 1/4 inch. Do you understand? It doesn't have to be so big. Remaining only how many? 1/4 inch. Okay, are you seeing a remaining 1/4 inch? Okay. Now, at the end of the day, you guys already know what to do. Remove the pins and they fold, iron, and they turn back. Now, look, are you seeing something that is happening here? We are going to iron it. Please, whenever you are ironing this up, please be very careful. Then sometimes hair doesn't want to relax much like that. Do you understand? That's when you have to look for what? Gum. Do you understand? And when you're looking for gum, please, you shouldn't use it this bold if you're not supposed to use it, please. Gum, you can always reduce it at any size you want. Do you understand? Depending on what you want to achieve. So now, look at what I'm going to be doing now. Look at it, it's very simple. Are you seeing it? Something like this. Okay? Then I'll now turn it. What am I going to do next is to iron. Okay? If you notice, it's relaxing better. Okay. So the next thing you need to do is look at this one remaining here. All you have to do is to turn it this way. Are you seeing it? When you turn it this way, just take your iron and get this middle part. Iron it very well. So next thing we are going to be doing, look at it, guys. We are going to be sewing here 1/2 inch. Are you seeing it? All the way here. Are you seeing it? We are going to be locking here 1/2 inch all the way here. Do you understand? So let me go and lock it. So I will come back so that we can. If I turn the front, see how it's going to look. Remember, that's what I actually want. I want here to show. I want this material to show because I'm using it as part of my the cargo pocket side. So I really want it to show here. So stitch on this particular place you can go ahead to do a very nice stitch. Do you understand? So I'm going to do those stitches, then I'm also going to lock here, then I will not come back. Are you seeing it? I've just stitched only one time. I can still go ahead though. Do you understand? It's a designer's thing to do the second stitch.
So the next thing you need to do is to turn the back. As you can see, we are going to be closing the pocket. Yes, we are going to use surface type of closing. Now look at it, at the down part, that is where we are going to be closing, guys. Okay, so just close it this way.
So lock the downside, guys. So after locking the downside, as you can see, look, you can really put your hand. You understand? So next thing we need to do is to lock out here. Are you seeing it? Let's lock it out. So be very careful with your placement. Okay, another place we need to lock, we all know that is here. Are you seeing it? So let's lock. Please remember I notched, so it's actually going to guide you on how to place it. That's why I say we should notch. Very, very important. Please remember what I say, whatever you do on this side, make sure you do exactly the same thing on the other side. Okay guys, so look at it. Now we are done with the both fronts like this. So it's now time to shape the side. As you can see, after the pocket here is actually straight, but you have to shape it back. So all you have to do is to take the back part. Are you seeing it? Place on it. Look at it. Take the back part and place on it. Okay, are you seeing it? Then take your scissors and cut from here. Are you seeing it? That is it. Take your scissors and cut from here. This part I've cut it out already, so I'm still going to complete my weaving. Now you seeing the real shape. Okay, so I'm still going to weave it out. Okay, let me show us. Are you seeing the real shape? This is actually the real shape. So this is how to work on it. So it's coming out very soon. It will come out fully. So next thing we are going to do now is let's go and do the zip. Do you understand? But before we do the zip, there's something I really want us to do. I want us to mark out this particular point. Please look at it. I want us to mark out our 2 inches or whatsoever. Do you guys understand? Let's mark it out. Are you seeing it? I've marked it out. Okay, so now that you have done marking it out, next thing I want you to do is to go and notch where your zip is going to stop. Yeah, in this case our zip, let's say our zip is going to stop at this same point. Do you understand? Okay, so in other words, what I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to take my scissors to notch it out a little bit. Are you seeing it? A little bit of notching. So we are now going to sew it out. Okay, so now another thing I still want you guys to do is, please, before you go to sew it out, now use your iron and iron it out. Do you understand? That point that you have marked, iron it out first. Okay, let's do that, guys. Okay guys, look at it here. Are you seeing it? So we are going to be sewing this. Now there's something I want you to know. I want you to know that is one part used to overlap the other part whenever you're making this type of zipper fly. Do you understand? Now for men, it is the left that overlaps the right. For female, it is the right that overlaps the left. Let's say we are making for female now. You seeing it? This is a skirt. That means it's the right that's supposed to overlap the left. So we are going to be fixing this thing on the left, not on the right. You understand? The one that is being overlapped, that is the one we are going to be fixing it on. Do you guys understand? Okay, so let's do that. Continue. Now look at it, guys. Place it this way. Are you seeing the line we marked? Are you seeing the line we marked? Please remember this side also. This thing must be above it. Are you seeing it? Now place it this way. Please, as you are placing it, I want you to see something. Are you seeing the zip itself? It should match on that line. Are you seeing it? Okay, so let's start sewing, guys. Okay guys, now look what we are going to be doing now. Remember the place I say you should notch. Notch it again now that you have put the zip. Notch it again. Now this one we are notching now is to effect it on the zip. Remember we have notched before. Okay guys, so look at it. After you are done stitching in like this, I will advise us to don't stitch yet. Do you understand? What you have to do is to take this particular one, take the second part, place it this way. Make sure you place it very well. Use your pin and hold it. And make sure every part is matching, both the parts that you notched already. Remember what I say like this, okay? So now see what you are going to be doing. Now let's say this is where our notch is, bar. You are going to step up with ½ inch or even up to 3/4 inch. Do you understand what I mean? This is where the notch is. We are going to step up and sew. Now look, we are not going to be sewing on the same line. No, we are going to be entering in with extra quarter. Are you seeing it? Now look at what I'm trying to say. Here is very, very sensitive. If here is the part we notched, are you seeing where we notched? Step up with extra ½ or 3/4. Do you understand what I mean? Okay. If you step up with extra ½, that means from here to here will be 6.5. It will no longer be 7. Do you understand? Yes. Now let's say I have stepped up now. This is where I stepped up. Now you cannot start sewing from here. You have to step in now with how many? Quarter. So it's from here now we'll now start sewing and finish up this stitching. Now let me do it so that we all can see it. And as you are sewing it, please keep this particular one facing this one. Are you seeing it? Make sure this thing is facing this one. Please don't keep it this way. Are you seeing it? Make sure it is facing this particular one. So let's do it, guys. Okay, so now that we are done, now I want to show you guys something. Remember, it is the remove the pin. Remember, it is the right which is overlapping, bar. Okay, now look at it. If it is right which is overlapping, then make sure this one relaxes like this. Now look. Are you seeing that the right is actually overlapping? Are you seeing it? The right is doing what? Overlapping. Now I want you to see something. She has seeing it now. Now look at it. Are you seeing it? Okay. Now the next thing I want you to do, please make sure that it's because you're using another stitch. I want you to always make sure you back stitch very well so that it will not start losing from here. Do you understand? Okay. So next thing I want you to do, since we have placed it like this, please, this side is very, very sensitive. Since we have placed it like this, I want you to turn it like this. Are you seeing it? Now look at it. Place it here so that it will lap. Are you seeing it? Okay. Place it so that this is a stretchy material, so it's going to be somehow frustrating in a particular way. So place it like this, then turn it this way. So you can see these are equal. These things are equal here now. Okay, so that means now look at it. Are you seeing it? It's relaxed. Please, when you place it and it's not relaxed, even if you sew it, it will see. Assuming you place it, it is like this. You now turn it like this and now start sewing. That is how it's going to be. Do you understand? So that's why you must make sure. You see, let me show you guys. We must make sure that it is very, very relaxed. As you can see, it's very relaxed. Are you seeing it? So that's why you should. Now look at it. Open it up and still hold it. Don't shift it. Now, you see this particular one? I will try and, in fact, if you even want, you can use your pin and hold it. Do you understand? Look at what I mean. You can use your pin and hold it so that it will not shift. Are you seeing it? I've held it. Okay. Now that I've held it, I can go ahead to look. I can go ahead to even turn it this way. Now look, since I've turned this way, I want you guys to see something. I'm not going to be sewing from this point exactly. Are you seeing this point which I folded? I'm going to be sewing after that point, so as to make sure I enable the overlapping. Look at it. Are you seeing where I marked? That is where I'm sewing from. Okay, now let's see. Okay, now turn it. If you turn it and relax it, this one is supposed to be facing this one. If you turn it and relax it, you can see that it is still overlapping. Are you seeing it? It is still overlapping. Okay, let me remove this. Okay, now since it is overlapping, next thing we need is this particular one we sew this way. Are you seeing it? See the one I'm talking about. When people see trousers, sneakers, people always see something like this. So people have seen this thing before. Okay, so how do we get it? We usually use 1 inch or 1.5 or 1/4. Do you understand? Then it depends on where your zip actually is. As you can see, if I use this particular one 1/4, it is not touching my zip. Are you seeing it? That means it is very, very okay. Now look at it. Do it till that point. Look now till your zip point. Are you seeing it? Where you stopped here? Yes, that is how I got this thing. Look at it. 1/4, 1/4, 1/4. Then when you reach here, you curve. Are you seeing it? So what we are going to be doing now is look at this thing very well. I'm going to be placing it very well like this. Then I will use a pin and hold it. Please, as I'm holding it, look, I'm not holding both of the pieces. Are you seeing it? I'm holding only this one, resting on this particular one. Now look at it. Are you seeing it? See, I expanded it, I opened it up. Okay, so I'm going to be sewing all the way from here down to this particular point. So let's do that, guys. Please be very, very careful as you are sewing it. Sometimes don't even use a much tight stitch on this particular kind of material, which is a stretchy material, because it might, try to mess you up. So I'm going to increase my stitch a little bit. Back stitch, guys. So let's go. Remember, here is still as open. Are you seeing it? The back side. Then look at it. Okay. Now that I've reached at this point now, see, I've sewn up to this point. I can go ahead if I want. I can go ahead to kind of open it a little bit. Are you seeing it? Now close back this particular one. Are you seeing it? Close it back totally. Look at it. I'm closing it back. Are you seeing it? Yes, I'm closing it back. Then I will now go back and continue. Then if you want to continue in a very neat way, you can draw this one back. Okay, now what I notice with people is that sometimes when they get to this place, they don't know they have to backstitch. Yes, you have to backstitch in a very neat way. Okay, like I have backstitch now. Then you continue with everything. When you get to this point, here is very, very sensitive, and especially I'm using a stretchy material, guys. Here is excessively sensitive, so make sure you backstitch in a very neat way. Do you guys understand? So look at it. Is it not looking nice? Is it not looking nice? It's looking very nice. So let's cut it off, and we are done with the zipper fly. Remember, there are also many methods, other methods of doing this zipper fly. Now look at it from here. Are you seeing it? Okay, apart from all these stitch when we are talking about, is it not looking very neat? Okay, so look at it, guys. Look at it. Let me remove this. Look at when you are looking at this thing, it's looking like a knicker, but it's actually a skirt. So look at it. So if we are to open it up, are you seeing it?